Hello, everybody. Wow, what a night, what a lineup. I hope you've got new batteries in your clicker if you're a sports fan or a TV fan or a Survivor fan. Man, there's a lot going on tonight. Jays are about to start, and actually, right across from me is my TV. So I actually have the TV on mute so I can see if they score a run. And then there's Survivor and the Leafs at 8 o'clock. Oh, just a crazy night. Anyways, welcome to Wednesday night Crafting with Wheels. I am your facilitator of fun. And I hope we have a good time tonight. And I'm not going to keep you around for long. I have a really cute card to show you. It looks complicated, but it's really not. It's one of those fun folds that it's a good one. And I'm just going to check and make sure that I can see myself online here. Oh yeah, there I am. And hopefully, hi Lorna. Hopefully, I don't lose you. Last week, my internet went really wonky at one point. But anyways, that's the way it is. Just a few reminders. The kit sale ends tonight. To see all the kits, just go to RebeccaWheeler.stampinup.net. That's where you can also do the join offer. It's where you can see all the products if you don't have catalogs. The join offer goes until October 31st, so you've still got plenty of time to decide if this is the right time for you to take advantage of either one of the join specials. I have my class here, my October class coming up on October the 30th. It's in the afternoon at 1:30. And I need to know by next, actually, oh shoot, I don't have a calendar here. I need to know, I put it in the event because it's a product-based class, so I need to order the product. You're going to get a half a pack of the Memories and More cards. You're going to get some bling, and I need to get that ordered by next week so that I have it here on time. So let me know if you're interested in that. And I'm going to flip the camera down, and I just got the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. So I want to show you. Oh, and there you can see the Blue Jays on TV. So I forgot, or maybe I didn't even know, it comes with a stamp set too. And it's the crafting is not just about Christmas. This is an all year long crafting kit, and the products inside, and honestly, I haven't peeked. I haven't even taken it out of the box, but it comes with this really nice versatile stamp set, and it comes in this nice presentation box if you're going to gift it to someone. There are videos on the Stampin' Up! Website, and I know there's at least one demonstrator, but I'm not going to give you her name in case you don't want to follow along. I think I'm going to start this the 1st of December. And I've had some feedback that it's not a true Advent calendar because an Advent is the countdown to Christmas. And you're totally right. And we've given that feedback to Stampin' Up! This is really the 12 days of crafting countdown, or count up, or however you want to do it. This would be a great gift for Christmas for a crafter. Wouldn't this be fun opening this with a family member or a friend? Even across the miles, you could arrange to have a kit shipped to them, and you could open it together either before or after Christmas. It comes in this really pretty box, and when you open it up, it has the 12 drawers. So there's box number 1. I do know that in this box, there's 6x6 pattern paper. And I think you can take a clue from some of the pictures on here what the designer paper might be. Ooh, that box is almost open, so I can't play around with that. But I will make sure that whatever day I start this on, I will let you know. And if you want to be involved in the sneak peeks, I'll do a daily video. And like I said, I think I'm going to leave this and start it December the 1st. But there's tons of product in here. I know there's some dies. And like I said, we saw a sneak peek of the 6x6 paper. And then, of course, this fun stamp set. So enough yakking. I want to get crafting so that I can plunk myself down in front of the TV with my clicker and decide what's most important tonight to watch. I know some of you will be really torn between the Jays and the Leafs. I'm probably going to watch Survivor and flip back and forth. So tonight we are using Secret Sea ink, and we're using, which stamp set am I going to use here? I've used the traditional label stamp set from the Holiday Mini and the die, one of the dies. And I've also used the paper. Actually, let me get my trimmer out here as well, because we need to do some scoring. This is called the Traditions of Christmas paper. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's foiled on one side. The back side is more generic, is a plainer. Beautiful, beautiful paper. And there's coordinating dies that will actually cut out images from the paper. So it makes crafting really, really easy. It's in my online store, or it's also, you can add it to your starter kit. And let me show you how I used it tonight to create this card. I'll just shove this aside. So it kind of looks like a traditional gatefold card, but when we open it up, look what it does. Shelly's sent me this. The girl had done a reel, and then if you signed up for her email, you also got the directions. But I had to watch the reel a whole bunch of times, and mine doesn't lay quite flat. So tonight I'm going to do things just a little bit differently, because had I put my focal point on the other side, it would lay flat. So I'm not going to do any decorating until after I've assembled it. So it does take quite a bit of paper, which is fine. And this would probably be a card you would want to hand deliver. There's plenty of room to write on the back because I used thick white cardstock. And I mean, you could put any paper on here just to change the look again. And isn't this fun? This is the coordinating paper to mix kind of the more elegant with a more classic rustic plaid. And it just shows you it's okay to combine patterns and textures and different colors. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring up the pieces that we need here. And like I said, there's quite a few. I'll try and get this typed up tomorrow, or somehow, so that you know what I've been using. So there's the little focal point for the inside. I'll set that aside for a minute. And what we need is a standard card base that's 8.5 by 5.5. And that's just a half a sheet of cardstock. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to score as we go, because this is a gatefold card. So what we're going to do is I'm going to score in 2 1/8 from one end. And I could flip this around and do the same. So let's try that tonight and see how even my scores are. Because with the thick white, it's a little harder just to fold it in. So I'm scoring each end at 2 1/8. And let's everybody hold our breath and see how close. Oh my goodness, that's pretty good. And actually, it's okay to have a little bit of wiggle room on this design. Because the card is so thick, it's all right to have that, just that little bit extra. So I'm going to set that aside. The next piece that we're going to score is the mechanism for the inside. And this piece is 2 3/4 by 10 5/8. And we're going to do some scoring on this. And we're going to score this at 2 1/8. So slide that in. 2 1/8. 4 1/4. 6 3/8, and it's a little hard on this to see exactly where the 3/8 measure is. So what I did this afternoon, so there's a quarter and there's a half, so 3/8 will be that one right there, I think. Let me just see, or is that a 16th? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm going to mark this one just off camera because it is important to get the exact measurements. So I'm just going to use my, I have a piece of grid paper here underneath my glass mat, and I'm just going to make a little tick mark at 6 3/8. And then I can slide it in and just see where that lands. So I would have been correct if I had, it's right there where the brown meets the silver. So that's at 6 3/8. And we need one more at 8 1/2. Like that. And then we'll just give these a fold. And again, with fun folds like this, don't worry too much whether you're getting your valleys and your mountains right, because you want good folds. So I'm just going to have that folded up and set aside. And then we also have 2 little pieces of basic white, and these are 1 inch by 2 1/2. And what we're going to do is we're going to score these at 1/2 inch. And this is what's going to make our little wings fly. So I'll give that a score. And we'll do the same to this one. I'm kind of a terrible sports fan because I only watch the Jays during the World Series. But I do remember watching Joe Carter hit the home run on a... I didn't watch I think it was the second one where he... I just forget. We were listening to it at a smuggled in radio at TD Canada Trust. Well, it was at Canada Trust at the time in the call center. And if our boss had ever known we had a radio, we would have been fired. And I'm not kidding. Anyways, back to the game and back to the matter at hand. I have a piece of cardstock. It's Secret Sea, one of the new in colors. And I have to order more. I've used so much of this, I'm out. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and the DSP, or the fancy paper, is 5 by 3 3/4. And then we have a bunch of strips, and I'll give you those measurements as we get to them. So first of all, we're going to attach these little mechanisms. That is what holds that center piece up, the little flying piece. So you can see underneath here how we've put them on. And it's important that you get these on at the start so that you can decorate around those pieces. So for these, I'm going to take some glue, and I'm just going to put glue on one side. Like that. And then I'm going to attach it. And I want it, I mean, you can kind of eyeball it. You can measure this and if you want to, but just make sure it's centered. Do not glue that piece down. We're only going to glue that inside piece. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And we're going to just make that like a little shelf sitter. So what I thought I would do is, if I do this, I can kind of get these lined up like that and give them both a good press. So there we have our little mechanisms that's going to hold that flying piece so that when you open it up, you get that fun fold piece of the card. And then it's pretty straightforward, just kind of gluing things together. So I'm going to take my pattern paper, I post every week on the Canadian Demonstrator site. I have to post, we call them engaging things just to start a conversation or to get people thinking and talking. So today's post was, would you choose apple pie or pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving? So what are you guys having? Are you having pumpkin pie, apple pie, both? I'm making apple crisp, and we'll have some nice French vanilla ice cream to go with it. And I'm not even sure when we're having Thanksgiving because the kids always have Friendsgiving. It's the Simcoe Fair. There's always lots going on Thanksgiving weekend. And now I've got some things to layer on here. I have some Secret C, and these are 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to put, this is where I'm going to put the plaid paper on them. So I'll make sure that I put my adhesive on the pretty side of the paper. Although I really like the plaid too. And I like using glue when I'm adding layers because it gives you just that little bit of wiggle room. If you've made it too close to the top or too close to the bottom, you can move it around a little bit. And then I'm going to put this on the inside. Like that. And this won't totally cover up that mechanism, but it covers it up enough that it's not going to be totally noticeable. And that's the inside of the card anyway. So again, I'm going to put the glue on the shiny side. I finally cooked the 10-pound squash that my next door neighbor gave me a couple weeks ago. Oh my goodness. It's a butternut squash. I got 3 small tinfoil containers ready with some brown sugar ready to go in the oven. I put them in the freezer. They'll make a perfect meal for me some night this cold winter. And then I also have a huge container of just pureed. Well, I didn't even have to puree it. I just mashed it down with a fork to make squash soup. I love squash soup. And Catherine's leaving me a recipe to make it with coconut milk. So there's the inside of our card, like that. And I think that paper's going, there's kind of, oh, you know what? I'm going to make it go this way. I like that better. And then I have my flaps there. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the front, only we'll put on the fancy pattern paper. So like I said, this card has lots of pieces, but it's it goes together fairly quickly if you've got everything pre-cut. So there we go with that. Is anybody going to look too close to see if I've got my leaves going the right way? The farmers sure will be loving this weather to get all the crops off. There'll be lots of takeout meals, Thanksgiving dinners served in the fields this weekend. And there we have our outside pieces. And again, all we're going to do is add a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to fold that piece down and get that all lined up here. This paper is just so pretty. It really, you don't need much stamping or decorating when you've got paper as beautiful as this. And we'll add that piece on here like that. And then we'll go ahead and start to decorate the mechanism for the inside. So I have a die that I cut out from the traditional labels, and one of the stamps that says "Just for You," and our Secret C ink. Give it a couple gentle taps. And get this centered on here like that. This Secret C, I used it all last weekend when I was away at a crop. It is probably my all-time favorite in color. It is just lovely. Now, on the first card, I went ahead and decorated all the little rectangles, but this time I'm not going to put the designer paper on, and I'll show you why. Because I wanted this side to go in and this side to come on top. But when I put it together, I have to do it this way because, and it doesn't lay flat. So I'm not going to add any of my pattern paper until I put all the little squares and get it attached to the card base. So what we need to do now is we have a center panel here with two wings. I'll call them wings. This almost feels like I've got two die cuts here. Maybe I used thick white instead of basic. Oh, I do have two die cuts. Bonus. And there's your tip. Even with these intricate dies, you can die cut two at a time. They just get stuck together sometimes. And I'm just going to use glue because, again, we don't want to add any more dimension to the inside of this mechanism because your card won't close. So we'll just press that down. And then I'm just going to take these little rectangles. These are 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. And I'm just going to put those on, kind of center them on here like that. I still have room at my crop at the Westmount Presbyterian Church on Saturday, November the 22nd. It's $30, no frills. Message me to save your seat. Message me or give me a shout if you have any questions at all about the Join special. If you need catalogs, I'm going to be in London next Wednesday, so I can make a loop of the city, but really everything is online, and that's the best place to find information on the Join because you can start and have a look at because it's not just catalog items, it's items from the online exclusives. You can add kits, you can add last chance. So you really can spend some time doing a deep dive into the products that are available, not only in the catalog to add to the offer, but to the online information as well. So now what we're going to do, and again, if you want to measure, go ahead. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and hope I get it on fairly straight, centered kind of top to bottom and side to side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add adhesive. I'll fold that back. We are going to add some adhesive to this flap, and I am using Seal Plus. You could use tear tape, you could use glue, but you're going to have to hold it in place for a minute until the glue really sets, because otherwise it's not going to work. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open that flap the full all the way out, which I know might not seem the right way, but that's how it folds back. And I've got a little bit of that mechanism showing, so I'll have to give it a little haircut with scissors. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. I should have checked that before and then we're going to fold that flat as well. I think I got that really crooked. Probably. Well, I'll just have to trim that off. So let me do that right now. Haircut time. That's a random measurement to do that, those little strips, 2.5 inches long. 2 inches is probably plenty so that you don't end up with little boo-boos like that. It's not really boo-boo. We'll just give it a little trim. Take that piece out. And then I'm going to see which is the best way that this will fold up. Will that fold into that, like that? Or does it fold better this way? And you see, there's kind of a definite better way of putting that down. So I've gone ahead and I've die cut one of those little floral bundles from that paper. So now all I have to do is just add some adhesive to that. We'll put it on at a little jaunty angle, and then I can take the rest of these pieces of paper that I had all cut here. Here we go. Nope, that's not them. Okay, oh, there they are. I was going to have to start saying, all right, everybody, tell me where my pieces of paper are. And we'll just use a little bit of seal on here. Make sure I've got my flowers going in the right direction. You could add more sentiments to these, other die cuts. And again, if you make one of these cards, please show us. I love to see what you're creating. It's going to be nice to see some new and old friends at my card class on the 30th. And there we have it. Another fun, thanks to Shelley for finding this, fun fold card that honestly people will say, how did she do that? So give it a try. Thanks so much. May your best team win. And actually, I'll give you an update. Toronto is up 1-0 at the, what is it? Oh, the bottom of the second. So here's to good things to come. Bye, everybody. See you later.